Hey there, Christian here. It is January 18th, 2016, and I have made it to 21 months on testosterone. Lucky me, 21. Seems to be a big time for me, lots of changes, lots of positive changes. So I'm going to make this a two-part video because I don't want to be over exhausting anyone with my information and updates. So this first part of the video that I wanted to address, just because I haven't in a while and I kind of wanted to get some things out there that I was thinking, was about body changes and body changes related to testosterone. And so one of the body changes that I feel has been the most dramatic since I have been on testosterone is my shoulders and the way that shirts fit my neck, the way that button-up shirts don't button anymore. I have seriously thinned out my closet tremendously over the past 6 months just because every t-shirt that I had was a small men's and now it's like a bodysuit. And a lot of my button-up shirts that I've had, if they're dress shirts to be worn with a tie, I can't button the top. So I think that the thickness in my neck and my chest has grown just exponentially. And it has continued to grow because, I mean, shirts that fit 6 months ago don't fit now. So I really wish I had taken pre-measurements before I started testosterone till now because I think it would be pretty amazing to see the difference. So just the muscle mass that I've put on that I don't even know has kind of gone to my shoulders. And that's been fun. I notice it a lot because I don't notice myself really being any different. But when I catch myself, I obviously have a masculine stature now, which is amazing, but it's just so crazy that a medication can do that. It's really, really fascinating. Um, Obviously, my hair growth, of course, or hair loss, as it will. But it's neat because lately, maybe the last few months, I've just noticed this area of my little beard is growing in and my mustache is getting a little darker. This area, of course, it just grows like crazy. So I've kind of been trimming this and not doing anything to this for a little while to kind of let the growth catch up because it's not very even at all. And there's just a handful of hairs that grow right there. But I have noticed that this area grows the least, is starting to get some dark hairs, and so that's awesome. The hair growing down to my hands, I just notice hair on the top of my hands, which I haven't had before, and the hair on my chest just growing like it wants to just meet everything right here. It just wants to be all hair. I've noticed some more hair on my shoulders and my upper arms that weren't there before. I've noticed the veins in my arms seem to pop out a little bit more, and I'm thinking that has to do with the musculature of my arms being more muscle, and so then I've noticed that the veins are more visible than they had been before. So one of the things that I did also want to talk about, maybe just two a little bit sensitive areas, like my chest and my lower area, that I haven't really talked about too much because it's a sensitive subject and it's personal. And so one of the things with my chest, I am going to be, on February 9th, I will be 1 year post-op. And to be honest, I feel like it has taken me this whole year to get acclimated to my new chest. I mean, I had breasts for 34 years. And so it's taken a little while to just get used to the new contour, the new look, the new feel of my chest, my healing scars. And I'm finally at a place, I feel that when I look down, I don't see what used to be boobs. And so it's a pretty neat evolution to get to where I'm at because, you know, socially it wasn't acceptable for me to go out without a shirt on. So inherently it still kind of felt wrong even though I can. And I feel like it took a while to just get used to being able to do those things, that male privilege that I've never had before. It just took a little while to get used to that. And being a little bit more self-conscious, it was just a little bit harder. But getting used to the shape of my body and the fact that it's okay that I don't have either the totally flattest chest or the flattest belly. These things that were not acceptable as a female, that are okay for guys to have, is just crazy. And just getting used to that is so weird because I'd still want to like suck in my gut and when I just have shorts on and no shirt. And you don't really have to because for men it's okay to have a belly. It's just so weird to have these social differences. So I think I'll just show you my chest because I don't know if I'll make another video. So I'm not too sure, you know, I can't really notice a whole huge change. I do want to look at some pictures of just comparison, but I feel like this area, of course, is growing. And my muscles, I mean, I haven't really done too much. I wish I have, but I feel like they are getting bigger. And then my chest, you know, in the beginning I felt like these were still like little boob pockets, and it felt really weird to look down and kind of see that. But as I'm just getting used to my chest, it just is normal and it looks okay. My scars are still healing. I'm a little chilly now, so they are a little bit more purple, but they're healing really good here, and I've just got to get some new oil or something to put on them. I still have this little area over here, but it has significantly gone down over the past year, so that makes me happy. And my nippleless nipples that I make fun of, just getting used to them, and that's okay. They don't have to be perfect. I think just the fact that this is what it looks like and it doesn't resemble a female chest at all makes me incredibly happy. So I'm really excited to be a year post-op. I had hoped that my scars would be a little bit more faded. I'm really not too sure how that's gonna fare out in the sun, but I've got some time to work on that. So so that's my chest. I think it's really different getting used to your new body. It's just completely different and ever changing, and so it's been harder for me to just get used to that. I still do have fat redistributing. Of course, I still have hips, but I notice it distributing differently, and even like my lower midsection belly. I had it pre-T, but it feels a little bit different now. The way that the fat is distributed in there, it feels a little bit different to me than it did before. And below the belt, I have to admit, when I first started testosterone and my clitoris started growing, I really was not fond of that. It felt awkward, it was weird, very sensitive, was one of my least favorite changes of all the changes of testosterone. And unfortunately, it's one of the side effects. There's not much you can do about it. A lot of guys think it's great. They want it to grow. I really did not. I found it to be a nuisance. It was extremely hypersensitive to even just having clothes on, let alone anything else. And over time, it has continued to grow. I was trying to think today, um, I think it is still growing a little bit. And I've gotten used to it a lot more, to where it's not uncomfortable. Thankfully, the sensation has changed over, probably, I don't know, the last year on testosterone, to where it's not as sensitive to small things like temperature changes or wearing clothes. Um, and I've just kind of settled into it a little bit more. And you just kind of have to learn your body a little bit more, because the way that you react down there is different. It You do get aroused and things change, which is really weird, from being female, where there was no sort of arousal mechanism really down there like there is now, with stimulation. So it's just a whole lot different. Um, I would say that my sex drive is very comfortable, but I am in a healthy relationship with a very healthy sex life, and so that is pretty amazing. And I think that being with a partner that you can talk to very openly about sex and your body is really, really helpful. Because I think there are certain things that probably don't feel comfortable, or are just really weird or very sensitive. And so it's very helpful to be in a relationship where you can talk about all those things and you can work through it with your partner. Because I felt like, for me, I'm just getting to know my body again. I mean, I knew how my body reacted, before testosterone. And so now, after testosterone, the way that it reacts, or what felt good before or may not now, or it's just different. And so I think it's just like a whole new level of getting to know your body and exploring things with your partner. And I feel like that's very healthy and a good thing to do. And I think in the beginning, for me, I didn't like any of the changes down there, because I knew how everything worked before. And I knew my body pretty well. And so it was frustrating to have these changes go on that I didn't have control over. And so now I feel like I'm embracing the changes a little bit more and getting used to, my clitoris, or whatever you call it, being larger, and, reacting different in different situations. So I feel like now I'm just more used to my body and more comfortable with all of the changes, that even maybe an undesirable change before is okay now. When I talked with my doctor a long time ago, she had told me that most of the changes will occur with testosterone by the second year. And that's rapidly approaching. So then it's kind of more about maintenance. And I know things like hair growth and all that stuff will continue, but I think things like voice change and clitoral growth will pretty much, plateau here. I will say that this last round of cold that I had, I feel like my voice kind of just dropped a little bit, which is cool. It's also just getting used to my voice and it's sounding different, and men talk in lower tones, and women talk in higher tones. And I notice in different situations, especially since I work with children and their families, sometimes that just changes depending on your situation. On the phone, I definitely get he'd more than she'd, which is pleasant. But it's nice to just settle into all the changes. So wow, 15 minutes just on this topic. Didn't plan on that. But those are some of my changes that I've noticed that I just wanted to share with you. And then I'm going to make a second video. So thanks for watching my 21-month changes on testosterone.